What up, YouTube? What up, Facebook community? Just got out of a neuroscience meditation study done by the local university here. It was pretty fun. Uh, had my brain activity monitored while I was meditating, and then proceeded to do 4 different types of cognitive tests, which were really interesting, such as like counting backwards from 2000 intervals by intervals of 7. Um, did shock therapy, where I would do testing while being shocked, testing meditation while doing 3-second uh, shocking intervals as well. It was all pretty fascinating. They said I qualified to move on to the next stage of the test. So it'll be interesting because now that I'm moving on, I'll actually get to see some of my results here in a couple months once they publish. Not once they publish it beforehand, but once the study is complete with all the participants. But I just want to talk about a couple things. Kind of want to start making some more videos again. I wanted to talk about listening to the body. As we cleanse, as we become cleaner and practice a mucusless lifestyle, with less obstruction comes a higher sensitivity of the body, which in a sense is like a greater communication between the self and the body. For example, substances that might not have had as much of an effect on me in the past, I'm now much more sensitive to, because I'm now less numb. For example, so let's take a couple common ones, such as smoking or drinking. I remember, 4 years ago, I could drink half a bottle of vodka and not be too heavily affected to where I was incapacitated. And now it's like if I drink half of a beer, it's just overwhelming to me, and not in a good way. What I'm trying to get at is, I feel as though the cleaner we become, the easier it is, or the more able we are to listen to our bodies. And by actually listening to our bodies and acting in a manner that is complementary and we aren't inflicting ourselves with pain and basically going against what our bodies are telling us, we're essentially falling in line with a natural path. This isn't something that needs to be intellectual either, or really, or something that you need to read out of a book, but it's just extremely intuitive, in my opinion. Just listening to the self. And I don't just mean eating poor foods and feeling crummy when we didn't used to feel crummy. That is an aspect of it as well. But also with all facets of lifestyle. So say you walk into Walmart now and the lights are just overwhelming to you because they're unnatural, just like the ones above me, which aren't too bad. There's a window to my left, and I'm only in this place to do a little paperwork and a little reading, and hop on the computer for a minute. But another one might be stimulation from the media, the cleaner I become, the more I recognize how much it affects just like my mental state, um, and how it is just an external form of stimulation that's a bit overwhelming now, and it's just unpleasant. And by listening to that and really communicating well with your body, it just naturally redirects us in a path that's more in line with nature. Just a matter of heightened senses, and the more we follow that path, the higher our senses become, experiencing greater sensations with less stimulation. So it's kind of a path of self-realization, which I find it to be quite enlightening. And it's nice because it's different for everybody. It doesn't have to be this one linear path that's dogmatic in a sense, but everybody can experience their own truth in their own different way. And that was just something I wanted to touch on. And lastly, eliminative health. I have my level 1 certification through Dr. Robert Morse, so I do follow some of the more intellectual aspects of health and well-being, not just the pure experiential side of it. And the three main eliminative parts of the body are the skin, the kidneys, and the colon. And the skin could be called the third kidney because it does eliminate toxins, or let's just call it waste obstruction. It does eliminate waste just like the colon and the kidneys. But ultimately, the what I would personally say is the most important eliminative organ in the body is definitely the colon. Research has actually been done to show that the lymphatic system dumps about a third of its waste back into the colon through the colon lining. So not only are we, some of us, out there consuming mucus plus forming foods that are not fully breaking down and turning into mucus in the colon, we're also eating foods that irritate the lining of the digestive tract, that stimulate mucus production from the mucosal lining itself. So the body's creating mucus to protect itself. The foods are turning into mucus or slime, and then the lymphatic system is also trying to dump waste into the colon. And the lymphatic system is essentially our big sewage system. It's where all the byproducts, waste, dead cells make their way to be eliminated. And this is typically the most clogged up area in the body, or I should say congested, due to meat, dairy products, grains, just mucus and pus forming foods. And it's very important to have a healthy colon by eating mucusless foods such as fruits, green leaf vegetables that are high fluid content, high fiber content. They are able to digest efficiently. The substances contained within the food are easily absorbed through the digestive wall, and they make their way through the body to synergistically stimulate eliminations throughout the body to promote the strengthening and energizing of cells, because no, we do not absorb the nutrients from the food that feeds our cells. It is a stimulating effect to energize and remove waste, remove obstruction, increase vitality. And so these mucusless foods also sweep the uneliminated waste throughout the digestive tract and colon due to their high fibrous nature and their eliminative properties, such as say an orange being very astringent, which pushes on the mucosa wall, which pushes back, which releases or helps eliminate the mucus plaque buildup. And yes, it's 1:42. A little past. And yeah, these will sweep throughout our digestive system, not leaving any built-up residue or waste, and they will actually help remove the waste that's already in our system. So addressing the eliminative properties of the body or systems of the body is extremely important for somebody who has a lot of built-up waste in their system. And on another note, it's not just all about the lymphatic system and the eliminative organs, because if we keep putting foods in that build up this waste, then it's just going to be like this perpetuating process. So when we start cleaning up the blood, alkalizing the body, and doing this as a lifestyle, over time we will begin to eliminate waste and obstruction deeper and deeper and deeper into the body. And it truly is a lifestyle. But I've been experimenting with different ways to have bowel movements, and I would show you, and I might make a video on it, but I can just explain it. So what I like to do if I am using a toilet is to get down in a squat-like position to where I'm almost hovering over the toilet. I'm putting the weight on my heels and touching my skin to the rim, I guess just so I don't miss. And then I'm taking a very deep abdominal breath, and then I almost relax my lower torso area, and the pressure from the deep abdominal breath seems to move the waste out of my colon much more effectively than, say, if I was sitting down upright and just trying to force it out with muscle tension and contraction. And another thing too, I lean a bit forward like I would be squatting on the ground too, because when we sit upright on the toilet, it actually constricts the colon and doesn't allow the waste to move as efficiently. And so if you guys want to try that out, squat position, putting the pressure on the heels, and then the deep abdominal breath, just pushing the air down into your lower intestines, helps promote digestion, blood flow, and the movement of waste. And I guess going back to eliminative health, your skin is so vitally important as an eliminative organ, and we don't usually think of our skin being able to absorb substances. Say like if we were to put it into our mouth, but it does. Every bit of our body breathes, not just through our nose and through our mouth where we primarily do, but our skin breathes at the same time. So when we put makeup on, lotions, all these different cosmetics, and even the so-called healthy creams and body covers, what we're doing is we're actually suffocating our skin and not allowing it to breathe and eliminate. When people put like healthy fats on their skin and they feel so it has a nice glow and it feels good, they're still constipating your skin, and that is contradictory to vitality equals power minus obstruction. You're obstructing the skin. I mean, it might temporarily feel okay, but long term, you're just furthering that congestion. And so, if you guys might try it, give it a chance to just let your skin breathe. I was really about not showering and just primarily focusing on natural hygiene from the inside out, which I still do find it very important, but on the contrary, I do find it important to keep your skin exfoliated and clean so it can breathe. I would go like month-long periods of time without showering, and I noticed when I did shower, I had so much dead skin come off that I began realizing that when that skin dies and builds up, you're just leaving the waste and constipating your pores and not allowing your skin to breathe. I'm not saying you guys should like shower and use soap every day, but I began like using a hot washcloth on my face, my shoulders, and chest area, and maybe just rinsing off with water. There's a natural mineral spring up by my house that just flows out of the or up from underground, and it isn't treated with any chemicals. So that's really nice to pay a visit to occasionally. I try to jump in the river, take sun baths, and then just a hot washcloth with or a washcloth with hot water. Seems to work really well. And yeah, I wanted to keep this video a little bit shorter. It's already like 18 minutes long, so I'll let you guys go. Keep on transitioning.